Hi guys, and welcome back to ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. Today we're talking once again about society and culture, one of my favorite topics, the beautiful bike paths that we have here in Germany. They may seem shallow, but these paths are so good, they might be reason enough for you to uproot your entire life and move from the United States to Europe. Riding your bike away from the car is a totally new experience. It's really nice. As some of you may know, I am a surveyor and, by definition, also a geographer. It is society and culture, but it's a very outward expression of societal values, very clearly laid out on the ground. Hey look, surveying point. Completely separate from traffic, riding your bike in Germany is a whole new experience. Of course, it begs the question, how can they afford so much extra pavement? Well, it starts with a little bit of savings on the road, which makes the road a little bit narrower, and comes with the caveat, you gotta be a good driver. Most people are pretty good at driving. The next thing is, if you notice to my right, there's a big field here, which means the tractors that tend this field use this same path when they're doing their thing. That gives it an extra utility, and by giving it this multi-use, you make it possible to financially justify it. And the beauty of this is, because there are fields everywhere in Germany, these paths go from everywhere to everywhere. This isn't a pilot project, people. And this is my favorite thing about it. The biggest downside in the United States is if you do have a dedicated bicycle path, it doesn't take you anywhere. Now, people live up there and people work up there. I'll show you the view. I kind of genuinely mean it when I say it might be a reason alone enough to justify uprooting your entire life and moving to Europe if you're in the United States, if that's a possibility for you. And the reason I say that, which is an exaggeration with a tiny bit of truth to it, is because it represents a different set of values compared to the United States values. And if that really lines up and truly resonates with you, it could be a good enough reason for you to say, I want to be more involved in that society and in that culture. No one really knows what's the cost of a human life. But financially, people can calculate it. And whether or not they value it as much as you do is another question. But they can calculate it, and they certainly do. There's a famous case study where Ford knew they had some issues in their engineering such that their production car, the Pinto, blew up if it was rear-ended. Now they figured that out before they sold the car to people, but they decided it would cost them more money to fix the problem than to pay out the lawsuits and actually let those people die. So that's exactly what they did. They let those cars off the lot. They knew they were going to get sued. They knew people were going to die, and they did it anyway to save money. What does it say about the United States society where cyclists are punished for doing the right thing for the environment, for putting their own health in their own hands, for wanting to get some fresh air and exercise, and having to risk their lives to live that lifestyle? For having to fight for space on the road and having to endure aggression from drivers who feel entitled to be able to pass them whenever they want. It is not easy to live a cycling lifestyle in the United States. It's not easy anywhere. You already have to do the hard work of pedaling. There's no reason you should also have to pay with risk of death just because you want to save money, save the planet, or get healthier and fitter. But that is the way it is. So I'm at a crossroads here. This is a crossroads of bike paths. I'm at a cross path. That's a four-way, got a bridge, and that back there is a village. That goes to a different village through the fields, and that's Ulm. Well, I guess that's a danger you might have to contend with here in Germany if you're a cyclist. I just heard that woman, she said she saw a wolf dog, Wolfshund, in the area. Pretty crazy. But honestly, that's like getting struck by lightning. Getting hit by a car in the United States as a cyclist it happens to people. So this is Harthausen. It's one of the closest villages to Ulm, but very, very small. And guess what? There's a bike path that goes straight from Harthausen right into Ulm. It's a beautiful thing, I'm telling you. I'm gonna go to a place called Emmingen. Just checking out that stretch of road I've never really been taken. Yeah, so why should you have to risk your life just to be a cyclist in the United States? Whatever happened to human dignity, I ask? Whatever happened to human dignity? And Germany figured out. It's the bike paths. So here's another stretch of road, and in the background, another village. I'm not trying to give you an unrealistic view of how beautiful it is here, because today it is absolutely gorgeous weather. But this is real life here in Germany, or at least here in Ulm. You got rolling hills, you got a lot of fields. When the sun shines, you feel like you're on some kind of movie landscape. I don't know, like, is this real life sometimes? Because the lighting and the foregrounds and the backgrounds with the rolling hills, it's pretty hard to beat. I mean, it doesn't even seem real sometimes, like I said. So as you can see throughout this ride, we're integrating bike paths, a paved path separated from cars, and forest and agricultural paths, which are also paved. They're one and the same. One of the things that allows this is Germany's land development. If you want to check more about that, you should definitely watch the video I did with Google Maps, which talks about why the settlements are so clustered and out of breath. If you want to learn more about the land development in Germany, check out the Google Maps video I did. That really explains how the settlements are able to be so clustered. Clustered settlements is what allows the agriculture to occupy the space between the settlements, and that agriculture is a major help in actually making it possible to create these bike paths. We've come in from the fields and now we are in what's known as the municipality. Everyone has to drive about 30 miles per hour inside the municipality, and this is where all the houses are. Your house is not going to be some random place in a field. It's going to be within a municipality. As you can see, as you come through the municipality, the town, basically the village, this here, this nice separated path, that's for moms with children or pedestrians. And then next to that, on the road itself, you have a solid bike path painted, fresh paint, make sure you can see it. Everyone goes about 30 miles per hour here, so as a cyclist you could go that fast yourself. It's not that easy, 50 kilometers per hour, but it's possible. So you don't get passed with a lot of speed. I just wanted to show you this one last thing. This is basically how it works. If you're going to look at the development, it always just branches out from somewhere where there already is development. So this big settlement here, and this was all fields, and now they're turning some of the fields into housing. It's called the Neubaugebiet, and I talk about that in my video on land development. New people, new bikeway, bike path. It's a nice new one. So bonus information on the house construction method. In my first video, my first impressions of Germany, I mentioned the construction methods and the construction materials and the durability of the construction here. And it's really clear when you come into a Neubaugebiet. You can see them at all stages of the game, all steps along the way. You can see like what's inside the walls, and the walls are huge bricks. Modern bricks, but yeah. It's different architecture, different construction method. I mean, really everything. If you look at the shingles, the bricks themselves, the windows, and look how they build it. They always use a crane. Always use a crane. And then this is a finished house over here. You can see what they put on top, kind of like a stucco. They call it putz. Much more of a long lifetime on a house like that. It's a whole different level of quality compared to a wood house with siding. This video has been presented by ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. Oh, and by the way, some people have been really wishing that the app was available for Android, and I wish it was too. Download the episodes on the podcast. All the episodes are there for free. You don't get the same functionality, but it's at least a free episode. You can play, you can pause yourself. You don't get the pausing automatically. That's the whole beauty of the app. Yeah, download that. Check it out.